Today on AlphaMail Mondays, we're going to talk about some breaking news regarding DMX and some other developments in the world of Hollyweird. Emergency use authorization versus approval and what that means for all of us. Our weekly top 5 and the Hollywood Shuffle movie review. Peace, power, and positive vibes. Yours truly here once again on AlphaMail Mondays. Your host, Nafir Nunn. And we got Culture Rich right here in the background. Say what's up, Culture Rich.
Yes, big up.
So getting right into it. There wasn't really too much happening in the fight world this weekend. So we're going to get right into the breaking news that I was discussing and some tragic news about one of the rappers that I'm pretty sure the whole world holds dear in their heart. I don't think that there's too many people that would say that they do not like his personality or do not like his persona. And we're talking about the great DMX. Dark Man X, that's what they call him. That's what his name stands for. Dark Man X,
Dark
right?
Man X, yeah, man.
Now, unfortunately, due to a drug overdose, he is now apparently in critical condition. I believe he has been taken off life support machinery and now is apparently in a vegetative state. They said that his heart might be able to be revived, but they do not know how that is going to affect his brain function. This is terrible news. I don't know what words I can say to console anybody, his family. Prayers and blessings and well wishes out to you from all of us here. And I'm pretty sure the world right now is pouring out their hearts and trying to let you guys know that DMX did reach a lot of people and he reached all of us.
For sure, yeah.
Now, I did find it a bit fishy, to be honest with you.
What do you find fishy about it?
Now, this is going to sound like...
Because I seen you put the drug in quotation. You know, DMX was like, because of his manic depression, he took a lot. We all know DMX took a lot of...
I know he used to take crack cocaine.
Yeah.
How many people do you know of overdose from crack cocaine?
I don't really know anybody that does crack cocaine, so I don't know.
I don't really hear about people that use crack because there's a word that they use, right? I don't want to associate that word with DMX, but I haven't really seen too many overdoses with that. So I know cocaine, there's overdoses, heart attacks associated with them. I'm not that familiar with the side effects of crack cocaine, other than when you are on that drug, you are resilient as you will get that money to get your fix and to get. There's a show on television right now called Snowfall. It shows you what took place in the 80s when crack came around.
Yeah, we should review that.
And that show will get reviewed on another one.
Yeah.
But realistically, I don't know. DMX he had a little circuit going. I seen him on a whole bunch of different podcasts and talk show things
recently,
before this happened. And he was talking things. He wasn't talking just fickle nonsense. I found that the conversations he was having was uplifting conversations. And I know his reach was very far. So this just struck me as a bit weird, man. I don't know. It doesn't really,
nowadays it's kind of, I know you're not saying that there's, good drugs or bad drugs, but a lot of the drugs now are mixed with so much, like the fentanyl and all these different kind of things that could have done.
You think he was on the Fetty?
Well, they're mixing it into every drug to make it more potent, right? That's the whole epidemic or whatever we're having. Well, it wasn't an epidemic until it started affecting the middle class. But
right.
But I did see a report. They're talking about the person that gave him the drugs or saying was tainted, and they're trying to find the person that gave it to him to arrest him. Same thing they do with all the celebrities. Always bring. And
I wonder what the guy looks like. The guy who gave him the drugs. I wonder what he looks like.
They blame the guy that sold, like, even Whitney, Bobby, Christina.
Yeah.
They're saying they're blaming the guy. The drugs are tainted.
And then Michael Jackson, they blame the doctor.
Right,
and
so same.
Right. Thing, so now, I don't know, man. To me, this is a little bit off. I know that DMX was one of your favorites.
Yeah, I love DMX.
So, this is a tribute time here for DMX. We gotta, I would say, hold a moment in silence, but you guys will all do that, when you have your time by yourselves. DMX I found that he was a good spirit. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Now, the amount of drugs that are being used right now by pop culture, I don't know what it's gonna take, but Everybody is dying from drug use. You smoke a little bit of weed, bro. There's weed that I smoke weed periodically. Just a little bit. And I drink periodically. Just a little bit. And let me tell you, where my head goes when it's just some strong green and a strong drink, I don't need to go any further than that. I don't know where people need to go. I don't know. I'm not into that kind of stuff, and I really can't speak to it. But a lot of people are dying. How many more people have to die? So I don't know what lesson is to be learned from this. I really don't. It's just a tragic situation, and our hearts and minds are with you, DMX, and your family. Hopefully you guys can pull through this. I don't know what more I can say beyond that. It's tragic.
Yeah, the drug thing, like, maybe most common people, a little weed is good, but there's people dealing with demons and situations where they just need an escape, and the little weed's probably not going to do it for them. Yeah, I think DMX was one of those people where remember when he was younger, he tells the story of
he got tricked into smoking his drugs, right?
Right? When he was like 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
Right? So from then, mixed with so much, you know what I mean? But
I can't speak to it because I know myself. There's reasons why I haven't tried other drugs. There's reasons why. Because I know my personality. I have a very addictive personality. And I do whatever I want. I'm very impulsive and I'm very compulsive in the way I do things. I just know me. So if I liked coke, I'll be a cokehead. And I don't want to be a cokehead. I see them fucking up in life. I see them messing up in life. Okay? So I don't want to mess up in life, and that's why I won't touch coke, because I know that I'll probably like it, and that's why I won't touch coke. So, so I can't speak to anybody else as to what vices they might have and what they like. Because if I like something, I'm going to do it. So I can't say that somebody else won't feel the same way.
Right,
but after seeing so much trauma, so much destruction, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. But the person who hooked him, who's the person who hooked him? Do you know the name of the person who hooked him?
I'm not sure of the name, but it was like one of his mentors would say, like somebody in the rap game.
Can we give you a middle finger? Can you get a middle finger?
Give it to him.
Yeah, middle finger for you, bro.
Because what it was is he must have seen how talented he was, and he wanted to control him, right?
Yeah.
So that's just like a
similar like BG and Bhabie, right?
And all that, right?
And had man strung on heroin the whole time.
That's it.
And then when he cuts off of heroin, all of a sudden he's in jail for how long?
So you know what I mean? So
right? So
means of control. A pimp does it to his hoes, same kind of thing. Get them hooked on drugs so you can control.
So one more middle finger for the guy that one more middle finger. Let me give you two. Yeah, okay, middle finger's up. Yeah. All right. So unfortunately, I can't really take too much time on this because I don't know enough. And you know what is there to really be said? So our hearts are with you. AlphaMail Monday podcast. We salute you, DMX. Superior salute. Hope you pull through this, and that's that for that. So last week, briefly, we spoke about Saweetie and Quavo, and the topic was something to do with being a simp, beta, etc. when it comes to their relationship dynamic. Now, some footage has come to the surface.
Yeah, since last week, since they broke up.
Right? Oh, they've officially broken up now?
Oh yeah, it's been official that they broke up. Yeah.
It's Hollywood, right? So I don't know. Now, basically, I seen them in the elevator. And the footage that I saw Saweetie being flung around as she was holding on to luggage and swung around to let go of the luggage. And apparently that luggage was Quavo's or something like that. But the footage that we saw, there was an editing that occurred before the footage was aired. And that editing showed Saweetie throwing bows at Quavo.
I've never even seen that part.
Okay? So she instigated that.
Oh, I didn't even see that version.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, I never seen that version.
But no, the black man is a savage, thug, brute, mother effer, right? That wants to do damage to the black woman.
I'll see if I can find it.
Enemies, right?
I'll see if I can find that.
Saweetie can be seen swinging at Quavo in front of the elevator door before trying to pick up an orange briefcase off the floor. At that point, Quavo grabs her by the arm, pushes her inside the elevator, and knocks her to the ground while trying to take the briefcase from her. Quavo eventually manages to grab hold of the briefcase and leaves Saweetie lying on the elevator floor. Though Quavo didn't try to help Saweetie get up, he can be seen looking down at her several times. At one point, the elevator door opens to show a person standing outside, but the person doesn't enter. At the end of the video, Quavo is shown putting the briefcase on the floor to stop the elevator doors from closing, at which point Saweetie picks herself up off the floor and leaves.
So now, while I will still say this, I'm not putting my hands on a woman. That's not what I'm going to do, okay? But technically,
he didn't.
He didn't.
He didn't, yeah, technically.
Still, you look like an ass now. Because the general public is not going to side with you, bro. You have gold teeth, dark skin, and dreads in your head, bro. So you're not getting sided with. That's just the way the cookie crumbles around here. But this goes to show that we never know the full story. There's always, they say, three sides to a story. They have A, B, and then the truth. Okay? And generally, you never get to see the truth. So, well, whatever. What I would say is this. I still don't think that Quavo is a simp. I still don't think he's a beta, but you got punked off in this moment, bro.
How did he get punked off?
Because you're on camera.
Yeah.
You're on camera being perceived and portrayed as a brute. That's why you're good. And then after, they saw Saweetie on the ground cowering, and they have you like, and he just stood over her and he wouldn't help her up.
No.
Who's gonna help her? Like, we just went to war. I'm gonna help you up. Just stay there.
There's a boxer, I think it's Adrian Bronner.
Adrian Bronner?
So he's like,
what shit did he say?
You know, Adrian Bronner's a bit of an instigator. He's like, I don't see nothing wrong with this video. If my relationship ain't like this and we get into some wars every now and then, I don't want it. You know, he's ignorant already.
Yeah, but see, Adrian Bronner, straight up, I noticed that he gravitates towards toxicity.
For sure.
And so I don't think that relationship dynamics, of course, you see the passion and crimes of passion and love is strong and powerful. And it can take you over the edge, yes. However, time and place for everything. You're in a public place, my friend. Yeah. So you can't be doing this. Like, you see what happened when Solange, Beyonce, and Jay-Z were in the elevator? Mm-hmm. When they walked into the elevator, as they're walking in, everything is calm. Yes, prince and princess, queen and king, yes. Soon as that elevator door closed, throwing shots, kicks, all kind of thing, roundhouse,
back up again,
and open back up. Everybody's back to normal. Like, it's just they had footage in the elevator. That's why we saw it.
Speaking of footage, it's funny how now that they're broken up, I wonder who had that footage the whole time.
And why did they edit it? Piece of shit things, bro.
Yeah, for real.
That's a piece of shit move. Yeah. So okay, this might be a theme that's happening. The one who edited that film and footage to put it out there to make Quavo look like some brute mother effer. Middle finger up for you too? We should give him a middle finger?
Give them one for me as well.
Yeah, here's one for you as well too, okay? Because bro, that was devious. That's diabolical. That's disingenuous. We don't like that around here.
Well, it kind of fits with the narrative of the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion of...
like how much more time?
What is it? I don't really know. Even now, I don't know how to break that one down. Did he shoot or did he not shoot? I'm mad confused.
I don't think he shot.
But the whole narrative, like I'm saying, it fits into this of protect the black woman and the black man never. I'm not with the black man never protecting the black woman. That's a narrative of Hollywood.
That's some garbage.
That's some garbage.
And that's some feminist garbage that we'll get into another time. But I was listening to a guy, and this guy's he's pretty profound, and he has a lot of material out right now. And he said this. Because it's the feminism nonsense. The feminism nonsense tricked women into believing that men are not on their side. Okay? Now, you can only be a feminist in the first world nation.
For sure. And
that's the realest thing I've heard in the longest time. Because we men made laws to protect women. We made the laws to protect women. It wasn't that women made the laws to protect women. Men made the laws and enforced the laws to protect women. So this thing about we're not protecting you guys, so it doesn't really hold that much water. Yes, there's exceptions to every rule, but as I was saying before, we're not going to wait for the pen to float. Okay? So we know that when I drop the pen's going to drop. It's not going to float. We know, generally speaking, that women are protected in society, all kind of laws to protect women because men put them there. So this thing about men and women, that dynamic, that's a cap. They're trying to see that. You know, Willie Lynch, young from the old, tall from the short, light from the dark, man from the woman, boy from the girl. It's the same thing. Separation, divide and conquer. So I don't really buy that narrative at all whatsoever about the black man as a brute savage towards the black woman. The dude just bought her Birkin bags.
Last week he's a simp. This
The
week
Birkin is the heavy bag to bear. That's what we were saying last week. It was a heavy bag to bear. Okay, so you know, like that yeah, that's what we were saying last week.
Yeah.
Last week he was a simp,
Last
now
week
he's
he's
a
a
brute.
simp. Now he's a brute. Wow. Right? So,
Just whatever works at the time, right?
that's it, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave that alone. We might revisit that a little bit later when we find out what comes out. But this is all I think part of the ploy to move Saweetie to a higher echelon.
So it's the Rihanna play. You know what I mean? The abuse.
Yeah,
the abuse.
exactly.
Now she's
Okay, wait. Who else had that play?
It's a lot of people with that play, man.
Bobby Brown?
Tina Turner.
Tina
It's a
Turner?
lot of people.
How many?
Many with that.
Bro. So that's that for that. So, bit of a backstory here, all right? Last week, I made Culture Ritual. It was part of the topics. He's still getting at me for this, you know. All now, he's like, bro, how you made me watch that thing there, bro? And it's like, hey, I don't want to watch it either, man. But now you brought something to my attention that I'm like, bro, you really bring this to my attention?
All right.
So, catch me outside. Catch me outside.
Yeah.
No, I won't catch you outside. I won't catch you nowhere. I won't catch nothing from you either. So, Bhad Baby. I don't even know what the appeal with this woman is. She did have a good song. She had one good song.
She had one good song. Yeah, you're right.
And I was like,
obviously she didn't write it, but I'm like, that shit slaps.
She didn't
I
write
like it.
She didn't write it? No way. I thought she produced the beat and everything. Okay.
But it was a
She
good
was
track.
one where she's in the Hummer or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was a good track.
That's a good track.
That's a good track. Can't lie.
The marketing team, they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You know how many wicked songs they have on deck just to give to the next ones? They
got Papoose
them
back
ready.
there, right? They got a whole
All
bunch.
kind, they have a team.
All those
Right.
URL rappers.
So now, let me ask you this though. Why is she in the news today? Because she went on OnlyFans?
Yeah. So she went on OnlyFans and she got, she posted saying that she got over $1 million in 6 hours. I don't know how OnlyFans works, but I guess this
I
is
saw
private.
Tom and Jerry on TV too. I saw Snuffleupagus, Pokeroo, a whole bunch of stuff on TV.
So you say you don't believe
I
that?
don't buy none of that crap. That's another marketing ploy. What they do is they fake it till they make it. That's what they do. How come I'm even seeing this girl again? This girl was done. I didn't even see her for a minute. Now all of a sudden I'm seeing this girl again on OnlyFans. Like I want to see you on OnlyFans. Like, listen, you know how much? There's some girls that are on the Instagram that you guys could be on OnlyFans, okay? But you, Bhad Baby, for what? For what? You don't have much of anything. All you have is a catch me outside gimmick. That's all you have. Well, you got breast implants or something? Like, what do you get? Ass injection? Like, what do you have to offer on OnlyFans that somebody else doesn't? You made $6 million? Yeah,
No,
right.
$1 million in 6 hours.
Yeah, right. Sure you did. Sure. Story up. I don't believe not a word of it. I don't buy it for a minute, not for a second, not for a millisecond. That's what we call a cap. So, that's that for that. Now, there's another piece that came to our attention. It's been circulating and bubbling, percolating for a little while now.
It's been hot. It was hot for a couple weeks.
Is it still hot?
No, when it first came out, everybody was on it, but it's kind of faded down. But there's still news leaking out.
Yeah, because I've seen him doing interviews on a few shows recently, and I'm like,
oh yeah, so he's back.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's interesting.
Okay.
So, T.I and Tiny. Now, straight up, T.I, when you came out with the first song that I heard you drop, 24s, that was the first song that I heard from you. And I was like, okay, this guy, he's a lyricist. He's going to take over the South. Because the South has the beats, they just needed the lyrics. And you're coming with the lyrics. You're gonna take over the South. I said it immediately. And you did a good job, bro. You did a good job. Now, there are a few things that got fishy with you. There are a few things that got fishy with you. And bro, like, I don't try to be a bad man or nothing like that, but like I'm in a region here where there's not a lot of guns and stuff like that, so we have to use our hands, okay? So I'm not really worried about like blowback and all that. I'm not really worried about that. So I'm not trying to call you out or say whatever, you're not a bad man. No. But it's a bit different out here. It's not just a bunch of gun slapping. It's like a bunch of hand slapping, right? So you see, when you got held with all those guns.
2 times.
And 2 times, eh?
Yeah, it was twice.
And you're out quick. What does that mean? To me, that does not mean you snitched. Like on the lower tier, people will say you snitched. I don't think that's what happened. I personally think you had no choice now but to play ball. You have to play ball now. If you don't play ball now, you're going to stay inside. You could come outside, do a little program, do a little commercial, go back to what you're doing. We'll give you TV, we'll give you all kind of thing. Do what I say. Which is similar to that Lil Nas X, right?
Oh, geez.
Think about Lil Nas X. See the X?
Okay.
If you turn the X and you just rotate a little bit, it becomes a T, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lil Nasty. Yeah, I believe that's what Lil Nas X really is. Lil Nasty, and then they just kind of, but anyway, just like Lil Nas X, you're just taking orders. And if you don't follow the orders, you got hell to pay.
So is that what happened now? We stopped following orders?
So all of a sudden, T.I is being
Accused.
dragged and accused of sex trafficking girls. Were there some minors involved too?
Many minors.
Okay, and this is what T.I is doing. The guy that T.I is a relatively good-looking guy and will give the girl whatever you want. Is that his song?
She's
you can get whatever you want. Is that his song?
Oh, you can have whatever you like. Yeah.
Whatever you like, right? T.I gives the girls whatever they like. So he didn't need to go hire little girls. I don't believe that's true.
There's a lot of accusations, man, and they're legal accusations. In court.
Sure.
All right. So you're saying it's another Bill Cosby situation?
Okay. This is where I get kind of like, I'm like, well, okay, so what's wrong with people? So, you see Hugh Hefner? Hugh Hefner was 80-something years old and has a mansion of minors. A mansion of minors. That's
where all of Hollywood used to go and have their good time.
And that's where you're going so that they can keep tabs on you because you screwed with a minor. So from you screw with a minor and it's on camera, when they're saying to you, hey, listen, we want you to do this part. And you're saying, well, I don't think that's for me. They're saying, hey, bro, come here.
Watch this clip.
Watch this, bro. You sure you want to do the part? Yeah, that's what I thought too. Get over there. And you have to do what they tell you to do. So T.I, you started speaking up too much, bro. You started going on with your back stuff too much. And so what they said to you is, bro, stop your crap or else we're going to pull the carpet out from underneath you. And for some reason, you didn't think that they could. But you were at the parties, bro. You and your wife was at the party. And what's going on with your wife, bro? Like, why? How much more cosmetic surgery? How much more? You know what? Just tell me this. Put a figure on it. When you reach that figure, just stop. Like, you don't need, like, listen, like, how much more? It seems like it's never gonna end.
My problem with her is that she's doing all this and she's not doing the nose. Just do the nose. And then she could stop.
I thought I was cold. Like, I told you, this guy is a killer back here, you know.
That's why I'm not on camera.
Listen, now I'll tell you this. The nose. Back in Trinidad, my cousin would say, boy, that girl crash. She crash. That girl crash. I don't even get it. I don't even get it.
Boy. So the new accusations are that they're calling it a pimp ring that Tiny and T.I used to run. Right? Yeah. So apart from getting girls after their shows, drugging them and all these different kind of things, now they had a pimp ring, a husband and wife pimp ring. That's the new accusation. So
and okay, now this is what kills me. Okay. Again, we're gonna fall for the okie doke, right? So you see Lil Nas X, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Bobby Brown, whoever you want to call, the name that they'll say, oh, it's that guy doing the stuff. The program's been out for 200 plus years. The Hollywood rings, okay, Shirley Temple. You can see her gyrating and shaking her tail feathers. And you can see little black dudes in diapers doing stripteases from the 1920s. But no, T.I and Tiny started the ring. Man, if you don't get you...
Like you said, it's T.I.'s time. Yeah,
he did something wrong. Yeah. I know who you offended, bro. Yeah. But you offended them hard, and they don't give a shit. They're coming hard. They're coming hard for you. So this is what I would do if I were you, bro. Straight up. This is what I would do if I were you. You have some money. I said this to Nick Cannon as well. Get those Black Ops guys. On all sides, bro. Because they're coming for you. And it's a wonder that you weren't taken off the planet already with all those guns and all. It's a wonder. They just, DMX is in critical, like, bro, I don't really know what's going on with you in this thing, but I do not believe that you are any type of a ringmaster when it comes to Me Too, Harvey Weinstein, Hugh Hefner kind of activity. I don't believe it. I believe that you were there, you've seen stuff, and there's people that are in your circles that are hired to do stuff. Maybe you don't hire them, maybe you hire them, who knows, but you are involved. When I say you're involved, you are complicit because you know and you're not saying nothing. And maybe now they're afraid you might say something. There's a bunch of guys coming out saying stuff right now. So you might as well be on the right side of history if you want. So that's what I would say about that. Anyway, that's that for that. In this segment here, we're going to talk a little bit more about our imaginary friend. You know, Mr. Cavid. Now, you've seen the Smurfs. I've talked about this before. How much further, Papa Smurf? Not far now. So Papa Ford or Papa Smurf or whatever you want to call yourself, the mayor of Toronto. Bro. Now, we understand that you have to save face, and we could even see it in your face that you know you're talking garbage. We could even see it in your face that you cannot even hold it together in your face. Like, I know it's BS, but like, we can see it, all right? But this is getting ridiculous now, okay? This is getting ridiculous. But if you do the math, if you look at the math, it all makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense, okay? This is why. The thing that we call Covax, all right? Because I'm just being careful of the algorithm, so I'm, right? So Covax. Oh, I'm trying to find another name for it. You know what we're going to call them? Astrazenny. Astrazenny, that's what we're going to call it. No more Covax, just for the algorithm, Astrazenny. And Astrazenny is going to be encompassing all of them, not just this particular company, it's all of them, all right? So Astrazenny now. Astrazenny has only been authorized for emergency use. What does that mean? It simply says it right there. It has only been authorized for emergency use. So in any situation outside of an emergency, it is not authorized. So the math is like this now. They've said that they plan on vaccinating the general public by mid-2022. True or false?
True.
Okay. Now, I would stress that to say mid-2022 to beginning of 2023 is when their numbers, and even if they're doing it or not, the numbers that they can project, they'll work. The optics that they're trying to give everybody, they'll work between middle of 2022 and the beginning of 2023. But they are not allowed to give any if there's no emergency. So what's the symbol of the emergency? The lockdown. So when people are saying, when are the lockdowns going to end? Well, duh. They cannot give you Astrazenny without a lockdown. And they plan on giving you Astrazenny up until mid-2022. So what does that tell us? That tells us that the lockdowns will be here until 2022, possibly 2023. So what am I saying that for? I'm saying that so that the surprise and the shock and awe can evaporate and you can get on with your day. Because if you think that they're going to change stuff for our benefit, you're dead wrong. So what are you going to do to change stuff for your benefit? So I would suggest what I suggested before, do the same thing you did before you ever heard of Cavid. Just do the same thing you did before that. Because it's all cap. This is the big, like everything is cap lock right now. They don't even know how to tell the truth on this. So for me, fine. You don't have to tell the truth. I never expect you to tell the truth. I never expected that. You've been calling me a black guy, a savage piece of shit, since I'm friggin' 13 years old and I see me on television. Like, that's what I saw the whole time. I know I'm not a piece of shit. I know I'm not a savage. I know I'm not a thug. I know that. So this is why when I'm watching the news, I've never really taken too much stock in it and I put my faith and all my eggs in their basket because I knew that they were talking crap about me from day one. But now it's not just about me. Now they have an imaginary friend. Snuffleupagus. For some reason, only Big Bird can see the dude. Only Big Bird. It's Pokeroo. How come when the next one comes in is Pokeroo, I missed him again? Where is the isolated virus, brah? Still no? Okay. All right. Fine. Fair. That's no problem. Well, I'm not really hearing nothing about no variants and all that kind of stuff. So, what am I saying here? What I'm saying is this. Get on with your lives, guys. Get on with your lives. Do not expect a let up. Do not be waiting for things to open up so you can go on your job hunt. Nah, not gonna happen right now, bro. It's not gonna happen right now, sis. What you need to do is take your life and put it into your own hands and make some moves. Because they right now, all it is right now, as Simon says. And so if you were gonna go along with Simon, as the Trinidadians would say, monkey smoke your pipe. Because it's not gonna work out well for you at all. All right? So I've been noticing a lot of movement as well. In a lot of groups. And you were mentioning this briefly earlier today about how the groups, it seems like they're protesting for the gram. Protesting for likes, for spins, for clout. Because what happens is it's very easy, and this is where I differ with a lot of people that are even in these movements. It's very easy to call out a thing. Hey, look at that thing over there. That thing is bad. Okay, and what? How are we going to change, modify things to make that not affect us or not have as much of an impact or reduce that thing that we think is bad? Everybody's calling out, oh, look, that's bad. Oh, look, Ford's a jerk. Oh, look, he's a clown. Oh, look, Tory's doing this. Oh, look, Putin did this. Oh, okay, we can see. But as I told you, I saw Optimus Prime on TV. I saw all kind of stuff on TV. So me seeing stuff and pointing stuff out, simple things. How are we going to make a change? What you were saying earlier, Culture Rich, you were talking about the providing options.
Yeah, what I was saying is that we were talking about COVID, but it ties to a lot of different areas of what we call truthers. Truthers, right? So there's truthers, we've all been through our different stages of learning in terms of going from religion and different little things, right? But when you have communication with people that are, let's say you're trying to convince somebody about Christianity or Islam, right? You're going to hit them with boom, 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 facts. This is the truth about this religion. This is the truth about how this Bible was written and all that. But you got to remember, these people are tied into it. Their lifestyle is tied into it. So you're going to hit them with this truth, drop the mic and walk away. If you really want them to take on to what you consider truth, you got to give them options. You got to give them, what are they going to substitute that Sunday for?
Exactly.
What are they going to substitute their whole friendship, their circle of friends are Christians? What's going to happen now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just give them the truth, drop the mic and say, okay, look, I put you on, so there you go.
Job done.
Yeah, job done. That's not
No,
it.
that's ego.
Yeah.
That's ego. Okay? And you see, in religion, you can see it in religion easily. Because for most people, they're going to jump out of one box and into another. So you have to be able to give them at least the options of that other box, because they're subbing stuff in. Okay? Now, when it comes into other things, like life, when I say life, I mean experiences that are beyond the intangibles. For example, there's systems here that people want to topple, like financial systems, monetary systems, okay? And they'll be like, oh, this is fiat currency over here, and that's not backed by nothing. What is the substitute that you're providing?
That's it.
You don't have no infrastructure or nothing, but you're telling them just abandon that over there to then do what? And so this is the same thing with this scenario here, because people are saying they're scared. There's no way that people can tell me that they're not scared. I know people are scared. Of course. Because they're wearing masks. And even now, you hear about the graphene?
Oh, inside of some of the blue masks, right?
The ones that are mostly used?
Most commonly, yeah.
And they're saying those masks are dangerous now because you're inhaling nanoparticles because the graphene is made out of... The same thing we've been saying from time, listen, the mask can help when you're restricting oxygen. Now it's even putting in more stuff inside of you. Yeah. How much more tinfoil hats? How much more? I don't understand what... Okay, that's bullshit. I do understand. You see, the program is being beamed 25 hours a day, 8 days a week.
That's it.
Okay? So me being here for 1 hour every week, to counteract a program that is being run nonstop. It's difficult, and so I get it. However, common sense will still win at the end of the day, you would hope. You have to take one foot and put it in front of the other to get to your destination. So there are certain things that I have to, like, I just automatically assume that this is what it is. Now, how many more pieces of evidence is needed to be seen to show that these jerks out here do not know what they're doing? Regardless of if you want to wear a mask, not wear a mask, take the code, take the standard, take the Zenny, take whatever, regardless of all that, you by this time, at this junction, you must be able to see that they do not know what they're doing. You must be able to see that by now. Everybody's just trying to figure it out. So, okay, while they're trying to figure it out, why do we leave them and let them try to figure it out and just go on with your regular daily life? You're not seeing nobody drop around you. My great-grandfather, my aunt on the second side. I don't listen, bro. People die every day, B. And I know that it's insensitive to say that, but the numbers are not increasing. I remember at the beginning of this thing, you would see the footage of man standing outside in a hazmat suit just dropping dead.
That was the Chinese footage from Wuhan.
All of a sudden, there's no hazmat suits walking about the place. Everybody's wearing a bullshit handkerchief that's not protecting you from nothing, and nobody's dropping. What more do we, like, if you don't believe your own eyes, what else do you, I can't see for you.
Well, like you said, it's fear. You know what
High level.
It's fear, and it's not even lack of fact or information, you know what I mean? Because what it's become now is that
it's a religion, bro.
It's not even, well,
bro. COVID has more followers than every religion.
COVID,
you think Jesus Christ has something on COVID, bro?
The COVID lockdown Easter,
bro. Listen, Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Abraham, Krishna, Vishnu, Buddha. None of you guys have the numbers that COVID has. COVID had the whole world believe in COVID. You guys have sections of it, but every one of you guys are still underneath COVID. Okay? So for me, it's a religion. When you speak to the ones out here logically about the imaginary friend, they're gonna come to you with religious talk. Similar to like when you tell them, well, you know, Jesus is really not, they'll tell you, boy, Jesus saves. And so it's similar, you'd be like, listen, you know this thing they have on isolated, well, you could still catch it. You could still catch him, you know. And it's like, bro, I don't know what to tell you and there's not much you can really do to reason with a religious person. There's not much you can do. They're not dealing with fact anymore. They're dealing with their belief system. Fine. That's fine. I'm not telling you not to believe what you want to believe, but is this helping you? Are the masks over your children? Whenever I see little children, I'm talking about like the 3 and 4-year-old children, the mask doesn't even the mask covers their whole head. The only thing you're seeing is little eyes of a little tyke. And it's like, man, you're destroying this person's sense of esteem, social. Anyway, this situation here is very trying. On the patience level of the whole world, we're kind of getting fed up. But they're too scared and don't understand what to do to combat this. So this is my suggestion to you guys out there. They're lying. We all know they're lying. Okay? So don't believe the hype. Relax. Put down your mask. Go to your friend's house. Have a beer. Have a spliff. Have a salad. And go sojourn and be social with the people that you love and stop letting the tyranny occur. Because that's what this is. This is tyranny. But it is voluntarily, like we have volunteered to have a tyrant over us. And the tyrant is an imaginary friend. An imaginary friend. If it's not an imaginary friend, all I'm gonna say is this: show me the money. Show me yourself. Will the real COVID please stand up? Now, and that's that for that. right now we're doing a segment that people seem to really like, and we like doing it too. It's kind of spur of the moment ish. We'll say we don't know what we're gonna say. He thinks his top 5 was better than mine
My
last
top
week.
5 snatchers
Bro,
all the time.
Coming to America #1, dog.
Number 1.
Listen, stop. So this week we said we're gonna do top 5 sitcoms of all
top
time,
5.
right? So situational comedies. That's what sitcom stands for, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. You ain't beating me on this one, bro. There's no way.
Let's see what you got, man.
Coming to America.
Number 1.
Anyway, number 5. Number 5. And it's only number 5 because it could be higher on my list. The influence that it had, the influence that this show had on every other show, it could be higher on the list, but I didn't really get the jokes as much as I get them now. Okay? And so we have to give you superior salutations, Red Fox, for Sanford and Son.
Oh, wow, good.
Number 5, Sanford and Son. Now, you big dummy. Okay? Yo, listen. Here's dummy. That guy was the best. And when he used to go back and forth, I can't remember the lady's name he used to go back and forth with, but he used to destroy her every single time that there was a going back and forth. I don't know if I have a few friends that I said that could be legitimate stand-up comedians because when it's doing the dozens, dissing each other, they always win. They always win. And they say I'm pretty witty, but they always win. I think Stanford is one of those guys. Red Fox, I don't think you'd have been able to go back and forth with him. He's going to murder you. And for that show, the way that it broke certain boundaries with comedy, certain
social
certain
topics.
themes. Yeah, topics. Like he was going in. He going in.
Yeah.
And they had Grady on the show. His son, I always Lamont. He kind of seemed weird to me.
He's
Lamont.
a straight guy though. He's a straight guy, right?
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not for that. That's my number 5.
So your number
that's
5.
Number 5.
That's
Sanford and Nuts.
So my number 5. I'm gonna go with the Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince was I love the Fresh Prince. What, early 90s to like maybe mid 90s. You're not a fan of Fresh Prince? I love Fresh Prince.
I'll get into that in a second.
All right, so Fresh Prince. I think growing up, my generation, I mean, we loved Will Smith became a good actor, right? But you can see how he grew as an actor from the beginning of that show until like one of the most touching scenes in TV, I think, was when he's crying about, how come you don't want me, man? I was like, wow, that was a good scene, right? A lot of the jokes, are still stuff that I remember. I just love the Fresh Prince. It's a good show.
Fresh Prince will never make my list ever.
Sure.
Now there was a thing when, unfortunately, for me, I kind of saw things when I was much younger. I was really hard, man. I was hard on things. I was very much a critic. And so if you're doing anything that I found suspect, I'm not giving you the props. And when he did that movie 6 Degrees of Separation.
Well, Will Smith is suspect.
Okay?
No
when he did that, I was like,
Come
what?
on.
And so at first, I remember watching Fresh Prince at first and being like, okay, this show's pretty funny. But wait, isn't that Alfonso Ribeiro? That guy is the coolest kid ever. He was the coolest kid ever. And then you have DJ Jazzy Jeff, who up to now will throw the best parties and is one of the wickedest DJs, period. Okay? A cool guy. And then now Will Smith, Fresh Prince. When it was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, it wasn't Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff. It was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Hype Man. Okay? And I never considered Will Smith to be a rapper or anything like that. He was a hype man. He had a little bit of comedy here and there, but he was more goofy than anything else. All right? Then all of a sudden, you have a television show and you're the cool guy. And then the 2 coolest guys on the planet are nerds and goofs and squares. It didn't fly with me.
So that's why you didn't
I was
like
like, nah, I don't buy it. I don't buy this. And then after seeing scenes of 6 Degrees, I was like, okay. And then I just like, you know what? Not you, Will. And then I heard about how you dealt with Aunt Viv. So I don't want to destroy my own career before it even gets off the ground. I know you guys have a thing going on there, Mr. Smith and Mrs. Smith. So we'll just leave it at that for that. But yeah, Will Smith, that's one of the reasons why he will never get top 5. When I watch Fresh Prince, I cannot say that it's not a good show. I can't say that.
Well, that's what we're talking about. You sound like you have a personal grab, but the show is good. One of the best parts of the show is Carlton Alfonso. He's great. He's hilarious. He's what makes the show
because he's acting like a square goof.
He's playing a role. And
bro, that guy was Silver Spoons. You remember him, right?
I remember from was it Pepsi commercial? Was it the Coke commercial or Pepsi commercial?
It was Pepsi.
Pepsi, yeah. It was Michael Jackson.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that they destroyed Alfonso Ribeiro's reputation and career with that show. They destroyed. He'll never be able to be taken seriously again. He's the Carlton dance guy. Okay, so it's like I don't know, but that's your 5.
That's my 5th.
That's your 5th one.
Top 5.
And you think you're just gonna smash
it,
right?
Smash it.
You're already losing, my friend. You're already losing. Okay, number 4. Now this one here, I could switch these two, and you'll understand why. But I want to put this as number 4.
All right, what you got?
Martin.
Okay, Martin.
Martin. That show at that time, I think was the funniest show on TV. At that time, funniest show on TV. Now, yes, Shanae, I'm not really into the dressing. We're jumping in the dressing.
You just bought out Will Smith for 6 degrees of separation. Listen, then you have a man dressing as multiple women. He's the original Tyler Perry.
Bro.
Go on,
bro.
But your
Martin, okay, put on the dress and acted as Shanae, yes, okay? We all knew it was Martin, and we all knew that he's playing a stupid role right now, yes. It was a funny role, however. Will Smith played a fish, okay? And in this thing, he had fisherman friends, okay? So I'm like, listen.
Go back to your list.
So back to Martin.
Great show though. I love Martin.
Up to now, I'll watch the show and laugh. Probably about 90% of the show will have me laughing. So there might be 10% of the show that I'm not laughing or there's a smirk on my face. And that's probably just character development parts or maybe the credits or something like that. But generally the whole show, I'm laughing. Martin is an ass. He's the way he moves, the way that guy moves, he's just funny the way he moves.
He's a genius.
Like,
that guy's a genius.
To me, he's on the Rushmore. Like he's a genius. He should be one of the guys. But I don't know what happened. And remember.
What do you mean what happened? He's still regarded.
Bro. You heard about what happened when he was running down the street naked and saying how they're trying to kill him and stuff, right? And then he had a nervous breakdown and all that kind of stuff.
Well, Hollywood, man.
And Hollywood does the scene for how many years?
Hollywood does it to everybody.
Okay? To everybody. Yeah. But ones like him, I think that his show to me it's him in the show. It's him. I'm the comedian. I'm the stand-up guy. I think he was a writer and I'm doing the movements.
Yes.
And you're hilarious, bro.
Shout out Tommy. R.I.P. Tommy.
R.I.P. Tommy.
What was his job? What was Tommy's job?
AlphaMail. He was an AlphaMail. You never know what he's doing.
He's got to go to work.
And then you have the next guy. Carlton Payne was his name or something. Carl Payne. Yeah. That guy there from Cosby Show, Cockroach.
Yeah.
And the way that he had his character was hilarious too. The whole setup was wicked. The only thing I didn't really like about Martin beyond Shanae, okay? And I can't even front. Shanae, there was parts where Shanae made me laugh. Like when she was gonna go beat up the girls. You don't remember when she was gonna go beat up the girls?
I never laughed. I don't like the man dressed as
I don't like it either, but when she was gonna beat up the girls, it's probably because she's gonna beat up this girl that I don't remember. See, Gina? I never liked Gina, eh? From the house party days. I don't know what. Something just says like, I don't know. You see, Tashina.
Yeah, she's still bad right now. She's still bad now. Yeah.
That was my first crush.
Pam.
I think Pam.
Pam, baby.
Pam. So that's my number 4. What's my number 4?
That was your 4.
Okay, that's my number 4. Smashing this guy's right now. What's your number 4?
Here's my number 4.
What's your number 4?
I don't even know if you're on the level, Steve. Understand this show. Here we go. So my number 4 is a show called Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't even know if you know this show.
Give me a break.
So Curb Your Enthusiasm is a show by the creator of another great show, Larry David, right? So this show is an HBO show. Not many people know about. I think it's a very popular show.
You consult with the Emmy Association or something like that. They just try to go with whatever they said is the stuff.
I go with what makes me laugh and what I find to be well written. That show, bro. It's like one of those shows where because Larry David, he's good at writing real life kind of situational stuff, right?
Okay.
And have you ever watched Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I've watched a couple episodes.
Oh man, so
I thought they were interesting, but it didn't really make me laugh.
Yeah, man, that show. Well, a lot of the just he's like it's all about him, and it's the comedy comes from him.
Right.
He's an asshole, just like you say, Martin. He's an ass. He's a complete ass, right? And the way he interacts with people, and he's the guy that says what you're thinking, and he doesn't care what happens, right? So Curb Your Enthusiasm, that's got to be on my list. That's my number 4 pick.
Yeah, my list is murdering yours right now. So number 3, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Number 3, Married with Children.
I'm
Married with Children. Okay,
no problem.
Now, Married with Children.
Yep.
That show might be the best of all time when it comes to the relationship dynamic between a husband and a wife.
Okay.
Listen, every man knows that he's Al Bundy after a ton of years. We all know what it become Al Bundy. We're all Al Bundy. You even hear the comedians talk about it. When you hear your wife call you from the other room, when you hear your girlfriend call you from the other room, you know the face that you make? Rich? What? What now? Al! You'd see his face.
Oh, man.
And this guy, I found that the jokes that he would give, the cutbacks to his wife and every woman that he had to interact with in that show was the tops. Like, that show has me laughing all the time.
Great show.
And when I watch it, I can... Because before, I never used to know, why is my dad laughing so much at this show? Then I became my dad. Then I became my dad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is what's going on. Yeah.
That show never really got a lot of... You know, it never won like an Emmy. Never got like a Golden
That's crazy.
Think about that. And it was on for almost 10 years.
It was 11 seasons, 12 seasons.
And it never got any like critical acclaim.
That's crazy because I think that everybody knows that's one of the shows.
One of the best
that's
shows.
one of the shows.
10,
like,
11 years, that's a long run, man.
Christina Applegate.
Christina
People can't even tell me.
Kelly.
Yeah, whatever. Kelly. Everybody wanted Kelly Bundy.
Yeah, everybody wanted it.
Everybody wanted Kelly Bundy.
And
to be honest with you, you just make through it out of my brain. Kelly Bud
Bundy.
Bud Bundy. Okay? Like, I used to be like, why doesn't Al like Peggy? Like, Peggy's sexy.
Yeah, Peggy had a vibe.
How come she's wearing the pumps and the tights in the house all the time? Why doesn't Al want to? And then you grow up and you get older. So, Married with Children, my number 3.
All right, so that's a good pick. I love that show.
Yeah, smashing your list.
Get the hell out of here. All right, so my number 3, I'm going to go with probably, I could have made this higher, but Cosby Show. Cosby Show.
Smashing my list.
Cosby Show, bro. That, whenever Cosby Show came on, everybody was watching the Cosby Show.
It's a family affair.
That was a family affair. Everybody was sitting down. We all knew what time it was.
Bro, you'd wait till for the new intro. And just to see it with the family.
What's coming up next, right? So, Cosby Show, man, you don't have to say much about Cosby Show. So many different characters that, some of them had a long run in Hollywood that came from. So many people that appeared on Cosby Show became stars, and Cosby Show was a show that showed, you know, a doctor and a lawyer, Black family living in, you know, high, like, well, more than middle class. They were rich.
Doctor and lawyer, you're rich.
They were rich.
Yeah.
They were rich.
Brownstone,
they were rich. So they're showing a Black family, and Bill Cosby was always good for showing a good influence for the Black community. And not just
good positive Black
community. You know what I mean? Yeah, showing some ghetto shit all the time. So Cosby Show has to be up on there. And shout out to Denise.
Yeah, they, and you know what? Which is weird. When I was younger, because Cosby Show, it came out when I was very young, and I remember my older cousin. He'd be like, "Yo, Denise,
bro.
Denise." I'd be like, "You like that? You like Denise?" And then now as I got older, I'm like, "Yo, Denise was bad."
Denise and Claire, but Claire you have to hold in a certain esteem.
Claire is like one of the baddest on TV
of all time on TV.
Bro, I agree.
So that's my number. That's my number 3. Cosby Show. Yep.
So my number 2, Different World.
Ooh, there you go.
Different World. Okay. So in a similar type of vein, just a better pecking order in my list. Okay. Different World is a spin-off from Cosby Show. And we all should be familiar. Denise Goes to College. And Denise actually came off, I think, after the second season.
She didn't last on it.
And it's because of other things that were going on.
I never knew the story behind why she.
I remember watching something about it, but I didn't really penny it too much because it didn't matter to me. I was still watching the show.
It was a good show.
I was still watching it.
Dwayne,
Wayne, and Whitney.
Yeah.
The show was, and you know who I liked in that show a lot? Freddie.
Freddie, who's Freddie?
Freddie, the one with the curly hair. What's her name? Cree something. I can't remember her name, but she's the one, the light skinned girl that had the really curly-ish hair.
Oh yeah.
I always be like, yo, right? Freddie, I like Freddie and Jada Pinkett.
Yeah, Jada
I was
Pinkett
like, yo, you could go on, but yeah, you could go on. So different world, I would say, is my number 2. Just the way that it portrayed black people going to college.
Yeah,
it's something now.
Bill Cosby, man.
Like it's a Bill Cosby thing.
Bill Cosby,
right?
Man.
And so even when they're trying to say this stuff about, well, we got to take all the stuff away from him because listen, you take away that programming and you're doing a serious disservice to television, period. That show is one of the top tier shows. It's my number 2.
Right,
so what's your number 2?
So my number 2 is still smashing your list of my by the way.
Sure. What is
my number 2 is
Friends?
A show. Friends ain't on my list. Frasier, great show.
That's your number 2?
Number 2 show of all
You
time.
would have said Friends.
My number
Cheers.
No, please. Not even on the level of Frasier. Not even on
the
the
level
level
of
Frasier.
Cheers.
That's probably the most. First off, I hear that they're bringing Frasier back.
Frasier was good. I did enjoy Frasier.
Frasier's coming back. I don't know how I feel about it. They've got to be like in their 60s. Niles
60s now. They were 60s then.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, so Niles and Daphne, their kid must be like 20 or whatever. But I heard they're bringing it back. But
I don't need to see that.
I don't need to see that either. And I love Frasier. It's my number 2, right? But I always enjoyed. I didn't really like Frasier on Cheers. I didn't really.
No, I thought that show was good. I thought that Frasier was good.
Frasier was a good show.
I thought Frasier was better than Cheers.
Way better than Cheers. Way better than Cheers, right? I like the way they cameoed some of the people from Cheers into the show or whatever. But to me, it was such a well-written show, and a lot of how they tied stuff from the beginning into the end of the show, and a lot of the writing was really good. One of the most decorated shows on TV in TV history.
Oh yeah, because you went by the Emmys. You went to go by the Emmy list.
I go by what I enjoy.
Yeah?
I go by what I enjoy.
Oh, it just seems that you
number
enjoy
2
what the Emmys.
All-time best sitcoms, Frasier.
Nah.
What's your number 1?
Nah. Boo. It's a good show though. I can't front. Frasier was a very good show. And I do remember watching that. Like I watched the show. Like it was something that I would watch. Yeah. But it's not something that I could even say that I wouldn't even put it on my list because it's something that, I didn't really remember because, whatever. It's just good shows. It's like Friends. It's like, yeah, it's good.
I don't know about Friends.
Whatever.
I don't know about Friends.
Number 1.
I think I know what your number 1 is.
Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Cosby Show. There's no television show that came on television that showed me a better depiction of me ever. Still hasn't had one. And guess what? Every single time I watch that show, every single time, and I have the whole box set, okay? I can watch from season 1, episode 1, and I'm laughing at the same spots every time. See when Theo had the earring, and this one?
Yeah.
You still remember that,
I still remember
okay? That was a 1-2 minute scene, not even, and he's like on the bed like,
moving around, yeah.
Listen, that show there showed me that black people, and I remember when my grade 8 teacher said, "Oh, the Cosby Show, it's a little bit unrealistic." What? And then I said to him, "Why?" And then he said, "Oh, you don't see black doctors and black lawyers." And I'm like, "Oh, really?"
Where's the middle finger for that teacher? Give him one, right?
I can't even give him a middle finger.
Why?
Because he was a great teacher. He actually is my favorite teacher. That was
racist
suspect.
dude?
That was suspect. But like, put it this way, that guy for Culture Day and stuff like that, he would make sure that we listened to reggae and Bob Marley and Ziggy Marley and stuff like that. He's the first guy to put us on the Burning Oil, on the Midnight Oil. Okay. Remember the song? Yeah. How can we sleep when the beds are burning? Like, he was socially conscious. He said that.
You save him on the middle finger. Go ahead.
So I'm not, Mr. Campbell, I won't do that to you. Now, when I went home to my dad and said, "Dad, the Cosby Show is a bit unrealistic." The way that my dad grilled me and was like, "Yo, I have to go talk to your teacher then, eh?" And I was like, I'm not to my teacher. I'm getting straight A's right now. But when he said that, and it put something in my brain that, wait a minute, that is really high. You're showing black doctor and black lawyer. So even though the teacher said that, it was like, oh, so you're purposely trying to show black doctor, black lawyer. And guess what? I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a lawyer. So it made me feel good. And that show, I could laugh. Which actor in that show was weak? Which?
None.
There was not even one weak actor in that whole show.
None.
Okay, and then you had Raven Simone came on.
Raven Simone was on there, yeah.
Unfortunately, but one of the highest talented, like she's probably one of the most talented young people in that realm, eh? She can sing, dance,
in terms of that.
She's a beast when it comes to the talent, eh?
Yeah.
So I think that because of,
Hollywood.
Yeah. Right? But you had Claire Huxtable. To me, the finest woman, the wife. And okay, what happened at the end of every single show? What happened? They're in the bedroom together, and you see them turn off the lights, and like they're gonna go have fun together. Or you're seeing them husband and wife and reconcile whatever problems they had during the day. End of the day, same bed, go to sleep, and Cliff Huxtable is like, like he knows he has the baddie. There's only one girl I think on television that I could kind of say I could compare to her. To Claire. Who's that? Uhuru. Who's that? From Star Trek. The black one, the communications girl. Bro, she's a bad one.
Like, she ain't got nothing on Claire, bro.
Bro, you need to watch Star Trek and you'll see. You'll see. So, but that's my number one. So, we'll go down my list quickly again.
Here's my number one. You don't even care. Here's my number one first.
It's number two.
My number one show of all time, and everybody that knows me knows I love this show, Seinfeld.
Oh my God.
Number one show. The number one show in TV history.
This guy made me get up out of my chair.
Seinfeld.
This guy had Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Makes
Seinfeld and Frasier on this list.
Listen, that show makes me laugh. I can watch that show at any minute. Bro.
But then when I have Coming to America as its number one movie, where's the consistency?
Yo, that show. George Costanza, shout out George Costanza.
Costanza, I always like Costanza. I always like Costanza.
Jerry has his moments, but the star of that show is George Costanza.
That show to me is like, man.
Nah, man, that show was a great show, man. In high school, we used to run beer joke off that show. Maybe I don't know if you watched it when it was on or.
I did watch it when it was on. Yeah, man, and when I watched when I was on, I was like, this is not making me laugh. It's smart. It's intelligent. Same with Frasier. Frasier's intelligent. Right. Same with Curb Your Enthusiasm. Intelligent, but it's not me laughing.
Yeah, I'm laughing at that. I'm laughing at that. I think TV grew up off of Seinfeld because there's certain episodes in TV that weren't really covered, like certain everyday things that weren't talked about, like the contest episode. I'm not sure if you know what that is, and certain things about relationships and stuff like that.
Seinfeld, I didn't really.
Yeah. So I think off.
I remember Elaine dancing.
Elaine, yeah.
I remember Elaine dancing.
Well, yeah, man. Off of that show, I used to get tons of laughs, man. Enough quotables.
Elaine's dancing. See how her rhythm?
Yeah.
That's like the entire Seinfeld show. That rhythm is just not my kind of rhythm. It's off.
Seinfeld, baby. So let's go over the best list that we got. So we got number 5.
Okay, number 5.
My number 5 was Fresh Prince. Yours was
Sanford and Son.
Sanford and Son. Then my what was your number 4?
Number 4 was Martin,
right?
What was your number 4?
Then I came with Curb.
Yeah.
Curb. Then after that, what you had?
Married with Children.
Married with Children. I came with Cosby.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I came with Different World.
Different World.
Number 2.
Show. Great show. Then I came with Frasier. Great show.
And then I came with
Great show.
Cosby. And then you came with Seinfeld.
Baby.
So you guys tell us who had the superior list this week.
Put in the comments.
In the comments.
Seinfeld to the world.
Bro, honorable mention.
Yeah, honorable mention for sure. Yeah.
Good Times. Good Times.
I wasn't really on Good Times. I never really watched.
Good Times was a hilarious show, but it was real. Like the show was real. The only part, the reason why that's not even on my list is because they killed off the dad. In the show, they killed him off early. He didn't have to die. I think we're getting to a point where it's socially conscious or whatnot, and then they removed the black father from the family. And so for me, I'm like, it's like when Boondocks, when Aaron McGruder stopped writing after that season, and he came with the next season, and it wasn't his writing, and it's like, So that's an honorable mention.
I was thinking about that. Boondocks, if Boondocks would qualify as a sitcom, where would we put that? Because I wanted to
animation.
Yeah?
Animation.
Right, maybe we'll do another list with anime or something.
And that's that for that. Today on the Hollywood Shuffle movie review, we're gonna review Godzilla vs. Kong. You can see it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
What do you think?
Well, first of all, I don't even know if this is still a compliment, but the CGI is really good.
I think the CGI
is pretty good. There's a couple lapses where it looks actually, but that's in every movie. But overall, I think the CGI they did it
was really well.
I think they did a really good job. The acting, I wasn't a fan of much of the acting. My gosh, it was pretty.
What do you think? Well, like who's that? You know what? Now coming to think of it, I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right. Now I'm seeing
tell,
scenes in my mind.
You can tell that the movie wasn't really acting based.
No, it was
more
CGI based.
based, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the dialogue was weak and the acting wasn't very believable. The storyline, I think, is what really makes this movie so interesting in terms of some of the things they mentioned, right?
Yeah.
A lot of what they mentioned in the movie is what really makes it something
even like the inner earth,
the hollow
and
earth,
Shambhala, and like Agartha, and certain things that we've been studying for many years.
For many years. Go on. What do you think about it?
I thought it was well done. For what it is.
For what it is, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, I didn't expect to see no high level acting by actors and whatnot. I wanted to see how they were going to spin this. As in Godzilla versus King Kong. I didn't know how it was going to be. I didn't know what they were going to do. And this is a movie that everybody's been talking about, even a theme. Who would win, Godzilla versus King Kong?
Some good fights, man.
The fights were great.
The fights were great. Yeah.
The thing that really struck me, though, was that the timing of everything. So now you have the guardian of planet Earth that comes from Asia, and then you have the guardian of planet Earth that comes from Africa,
which is Kong, yeah,
right? And now they generally are at odds with each other, but then they have to team up to fight the colonials.
Bit of a spoiler,
right? So whatever. But that's the theme. And so to me, it's like, why are you bringing this theme again right now? Why are we bringing this theme again right now? So
is that going on in society now? Is that a theme?
I think that's a theme. I think that's a theme. Didn't
boy.
Jeezy and his wife just Jeannie Mae raise some funding together for stuff?
The Asian and black community, right?
The unity. So all in all, I thought the fight scenes were great. I thought the CGI was amazing. I thought it was one of the best done CGIs that I've seen up to now.
Pretty good.
Because Godzilla looked real.
And Kong
looked real.
Kong pretty good. Yeah.
You know, so what I'll do is I'll say this. Overall, as an overall movie, it was entertaining, and I would say you probably get a 6.5 or so.
6.5?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, if I was to say just as a movie in that specific genre, I guess I get 8.5.
Yeah. You see, that's more of a movie for the theaters.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And right now, obviously, we can't do a theater, so we're not getting the full experience of what that movie can give us. But I'm gonna give it a 5. I mean, for what it was.
You're harsh, bro.
Yeah, that's just how I feel about it. But some of the themes that this is what I kind of found funny. In the movie, like we were speaking about how they mentioned the Hollow Earth theory. They even mentioned Admiral Byrd in the intro, and all these different things that. So Hollywood does this thing, like I mentioned last week, where
hidden in plain sight.
They give you the game and then spin it on you. So Hollywood is allowed to talk about Admiral Byrd and the Hollow Earth, but if somebody comes on YouTube, if somebody wants to bring that kind of topic up, they're conspiracy theorists. They're nut. Yeah. They're a loon.
Well, that's
right. So this is how Hollywood always does it, right?
If it's not authorized for me, if I can say it, because I'm authorized to say it,
right.
You're not.
You're not, because if you say it, you're a conspiracy theorist.
Well, if you say it, you're not saying it in the frame that I want it to be framed in.
Exactly. So that's the thing with Hollywood, right? So they feed the fodder and then call you a crazy person for even mentioning it or talking about it. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5. Like I said, the acting was like CGI really good. But I'd say, if you're into that kind of movie, my son is really. I didn't watch it with him, but he said he wants to see who wins the fights or whatever. So.
See, now I'm not even a CGI. I don't really care about CGI movies, to be honest.
Yeah.
But since the Marvel stuff has come out, the superhero movies, and generally speaking, the quality of movies that have come out in the last little while are garbage. Like the storytelling is just this man. So I'm looking for the bangs, the big action scenes. The commotion. I'm looking for explosions. That's what I'm looking for, and the movie gave it to me.
Yep.
So I'll still say I'll give it a 6.5. And you have anything else you want to say about that one?
Yeah, that's not for that.
That's not for that then. Now in this segment, we want to shout out companies that we respect and that we want to see thrive. And this company here is 6 Love Apparel, and we're gonna put the tag at the bottom of the screen here. You can see them on Instagram as well, Facebook, etc. And these guys make some custom clothing wear that is truly superior. So we'll have some items on the site here. You'll see some pictures of what they do. And 6 Love Apparel, beautiful people, beautiful souls, very hard workers, and you get a superior salute. So that's that for that. Another week concludes AlphaMail Monday. Remember, like, share, subscribe, superscribe. If you want to put something in the comments, if you have any questions for us, info@AlphaMail Mondays, or even just listen down at the bottom of the comments here. And you know, whenever you leave here, we want you to learn something, and we are not afraid to discuss anything, because it's no fear, none. Stop playing with me back here. Stop playing with me back here.
Yeah, I want to say big up to all the people that have been watching and hitting the subscribe button and stuff. We see you, so we love you as always. Thank you so much.
Pure love, maximum respect, peace, power, and positive life every single time.